Welcome to the third in our series of 20 things I want my healthcare provider to know. The topic today is on all is not Down syndrome. Now that's part of a concept that I call two opposite issues. And the first issue is that all is not Down syndrome. And let me tell you a story. A few weeks after the center opened in 1992, the mother of a patient called and said, "My son's had a cough for about a month. I've had him to the doctor 2 to 3 times, and each time the doctor keeps saying, it's just Down syndrome. There's nothing that can be done." I said, well, come on in. Let's take a look. So I listened to his lungs, and he had changes in his lungs that were consistent with a pneumonia. Ordered a chest x-ray, and that was consistent with a pneumonia. And ordered an antibiotic, and his cough went away. Now, he still had Down syndrome, but his cough had resolved. Now that's a poignant story, and it's a really teaching point for me early on in the clinic's history. Particularly with issues around behavioral issues, many families were being told it's just the Down syndrome. And we quickly learned that a behavioral change might be an underactive thyroid, diabetes, depression, anxiety, even an ingrown toenail, things that could be potentially treatable, and things that we needed to address and potentially change that could have an impact on the person's behavior. Now, the corollary to all is not Down syndrome is that all people with Down syndrome are not the same. All people with Down syndrome have some extra of the 21st chromosome, all are part of it, but each has their own family genetics, their own life experiences, and issues of expression of their extra 21st chromosome that make them unique. On the other hand, there are common characteristics of people with Down syndrome, and they are important to understand, they are important to appreciate, and they are important to assess in each individual. They have implications for both diagnosing and treating health changes, as well as promoting health. Briefly, they include the concepts of self-talk, the groove, and unique memory issues, as well as others. You can get more information about these in our books, The Mental Wellness of Adults with Down Syndrome and The Guide to Good Health for Teens and Adults with Down Syndrome. We will talk more about these in upcoming presentations. For now, it's important to realize when assessing a person with Down syndrome that all is not Down syndrome, that there may be potentially treatable conditions that are part of the person's presentation, and we want to make sure we look for those and address those issues. And we also want to remember that each person with Down syndrome is not the same, and that there are going to be unique issues for each individual, but that there are common characteristics of people with Down syndrome, and those are ones that we're going to want to try to understand. So further information will be coming in future presentations, and we look forward to talking with you more.